Good morning and welcome to News Superfast. I'm Nolan Pinto. Well, it's been more than 37 long hours and 4-year-old Akshata is still stuck in the abandoned borewell in which she fell in on Tuesday evening at around 7:30. Now, rescue personnel, that is along with the state rescue personnel, the NDRF, along with experts from the Patti gold mines are all present over there. You can clearly see work going on to try and rescue her. Now, what the NDRF personnel are presently doing is that they're using cutters to dig pretty deep. In fact, they have gone almost 38 feet below. The ditch is about 38 feet in depth. Now you can see there with the help of the cutters, they're trying to dig a tunnel. Now the distance between the borewell and the ditch is about 10 feet. The NDRF personnel tell us that for 5 to 6 feet they will utilize cutters, the stone cutters, to cut through and dig the tunnel, considering the fact that the entire terrain is very rocky and there are granites over there. Thereafter, it will be a long, laborious work for them because they will have to go about the last 4 to 5 feet manually, that is with manual equipments, in order to not let the borewell cave in. In fact, last night after Manikantan was brought from Tamil Nadu, he utilized his robot in order to try and rescue this girl. Now, NDRF personnel always stated that it was not their idea to utilize the robot to lift the girl up. However, the robot was used. In the first try, they found stones. Now, the robot was used to actually remove those stones. You can see there on the left of your television screen that work going on in the middle of the night. That was the first attempt. The second attempt, there was a lot of mud. The robot was used to actually remove some of the mud. Now, attempts went on till around 4:30 in the morning. Thereafter, we are told that the officials have been using sort of vacuum or suction pumps in order to remove the debris or sand and plastic that is on top of this girl. NDRF senior official tells us that when the girl actually fell headfirst into the borewell, she also took with her, while wriggling down, a lot of debris, a lot of mud. Now, all that is on top of her. So they believe that she's somewhere between 30 and 31 feet with about 1 to 1.5 feet of debris on top of her. Now, when the state officials informed the NDRF personnel immediately, the first thing that the NDRF personnel asked them to do was, according to standard operating procedures, is start pumping in oxygen into the borewell as fast as possible. Point 1 and point 2, start digging a ditch 10 feet away from this till about 27 or 29 feet in depth, and that is what the state police and the rescue personnel did till the NDRF personnel reached Bijapur yesterday morning. In fact, let's now listen to what the divisional officer Budiyappa had to say about this.
ನಾವು ಈ 37 ಅಡಿ ಏನು ಆಳ ಅಗದಿದ್ವಿ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಆಗಿ, ಆ 37 ಅಡಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಟನಲ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೊರಟಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ NDRF ಟೀಮಿಂದ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಅದು ರಾಕ್ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಟನಲ್ ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಆ ಕೊಳವೆ ಬಾವಿಲಿರುವಂಥ ಮಣ್ಣು ಕುಸಿದು ಬೀಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಗುನ ಸೇಫಾಗಿ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ರೋಬೋ ಮೂಲಕ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವರೊಂದು ಸಲಹೆನ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಮೇರೆಗೆ ರೋಬೋ ಮೂಲಕ ನಾವು ಮಗುವನ್ನು ತೆಗಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ತಮಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ 4:30 ಗಂಟೆವರೆಗೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಆ ರೋಬೋ ಮೂಲಕ ಮಗುನ ಮೇಲೆ ತೆಗಿಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಕಾರಣ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಮಗು ಬಿದ್ದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅವರ ತಾಯಿ ಏನಿದ್ರು ಆ ಕೊಳವೆ ಬಾವಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಓಡಾಡಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆ ಒಂದು ನೋವಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ರಂಪ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಣ್ಣೆಲ್ಲ ಮಗು ಮೇಲೆ ಬಿದ್ದುಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಆ ರೋಬೋ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಲಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮಣ್ಣು ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಮಗು ಬಾಡಿ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಬಹಳ 4:15ವರೆಗೂ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯ ಸಫಲವಾಗದೇ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಈ ಟನಲ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಏನಿದೆ ಬ್ರೇಕರ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಒಂದು 3 ಫೀಟ್ವರೆಗೂ ಬ್ರೇಕರ್ ಮೂಲಕ 37 ಅಡಿನ ಮುಂದುವರಿಸಿ 3 ಫೀಟಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅವರು ಟನಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಮಗುನ ತೆಗಿಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನನ ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
In fact, you heard what the sub-divisional officer had to say over there, that till around 4:30 they utilized the robot. They tried with the help of the robot, they can actually bring her out. But initially it was just stones that the robot encountered.
ಕಟರ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ಬೋದು ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇದೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ. ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೂಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ಇವಾಗ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಹತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಹಮರ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಥರದಿಂದ ನಾವು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು ಚೆನ್ನಾದಿಂದ. ಬಟ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು ಇವಾಗ ಕಲ್ಲುಗಳು ಅಪೌಂಡ್ ನಾವು ಸುರಂಗ ಮಾರ್ಗ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಯಾವ್ದು ಫೇಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಹೇಳಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಮುಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಏನು ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಇದೆ ಅದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಬ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಈ ಥರ ಆಗಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾವು.
In fact, that particular individual states that they have all the equipment over here to go about with their work. They're using the cutter to actually give them an opening into the tunnel. Now, they might go as far as 6 feet inside this particular tunnel. There you can see the hole already coming out there, already shaping out very clearly for about 5 to 6 feet. Now, if they actually decide, or if the NDRF personnel decide that it's not safe to start drilling more because the vibrations can affect the unused borewell where this girl has actually fallen in, they would stop using the drillers, the heavy machinery, and start using manual machines in order to drill their way into the borewell. Well, for more on this, I'm joined in by my colleague Akshata, who is actually present right there in Bijapur. She has been tracking these events ever since it happened. Now, Akshata, what more can you tell us about what's happening there? And apart from that, how deep have they dug the tunnel?
Well, they're still digging, Nolan, and could go on for some more time. But going by it, they've easily accomplished about 4 feet or so. But they will stop, of course, after a certain point. And most we will be looking at them continuing with the rescue operations. We could be looking at, of course, the people manually doing it. We understand that they brought a drill, a different drill from what they were using yesterday to go ahead and push through that stone. They realized, of course, that the drill that they usually use is not enough considering the amount of granite that they have found. So they are planning to go ahead and use more stone to push right through. So we will have to wait and watch to see if this time around they will be successful, because this is pretty much all they have their hopes pinned on as of now, Nolan, because we saw, of course, the other robot arm that they were using was meant only to excavate some of the rocks and the mud that was there. Another big concern is that even the oxygen that they're putting through isn't really reaching Akshata, considering, of course, that there is a layer of mud on top. So that is a concern, and that's exactly why they were going ahead and removing all that mud to ensure that she does have some access to the oxygen. So that's another concern which has led to them deciding that they need to finish with the rescue operations as soon as possible. But as of now, there's no estimate on how long it could possibly take. They could be digging for a little more time. Now, once they begin it manually, of course, it will take at least 3-4 hours. So we could be looking at this going on till evening, Nolan.
Right. And now, Akshata, can we also say that the state administration was really not prepared with all the equipment? Because you're talking about them trying to get another driller. Now, yesterday itself, we were told by one of the DYSPs over there, when I spoke to him in the morning, that the operation was halted for some time because they did not have a driller, a stone cutter. So they had to requisition a stone cutter. Now you're telling me that they're trying to get another type of cutter.
Right, Nolan, it wasn't expected, of course, that there would be such an issue because of the stone. Yes, it was expected that this particular area does have a lot of hard surfaces. They initially thought it was hard mud. Once they realized, of course, that there's a lot of stone, they brought in one of these drills, one of these stone crushers. And soon after, of course, they were planning to drill through manually, considering that they did not want to harm Akshata. But having said that, when they were doing the same, it is understood that that's when it became a bit of an issue. They were hoping that the deeper they go, there wouldn't be so much of stone, but the slabs only got thicker and thicker, and it became absolutely impossible for them to get through. And even if they did use the drill that was provided last night, it would have taken a lot more time, Nolan, which is why they've decided to go ahead and execute a different technique wherein the machines will do half of the work, and then the workers will get down there and then start using the new drill as well. With regards to whether, in fact, they were not prepared, initially, of course, considering this is an area about 20 kilometers away from Bijapur, there aren't really resources available. So that was definitely a handicap. But now, of course, they have gotten all they need. But the question is whether they'll get it done on time, Nolan.
Right, Akshata, I'm going to place you on hold over there. Now, my colleague Akshata, right over there, she'll give us more information in some time as to what really is happening. She tells us that a new type of cutter is being brought in because they have figured out that whatever they had earlier was not sufficient to help them go about the work fast. And again, the rocks there, it's a very rocky terrain. They require a high-powered cutter to help them speed up their work. Time is of the essence. It's more than 37 long hours. This little girl is still stuck over there. She fell headfirst into the abandoned old borewell. What created more havoc for them is that the robotic arm that was brought in by